Good morning, grade sixes. Welcome to Tuesday, the 14th of April's edition of WorksheetCloud Mathematics. I hope you guys had a great Easter. I hope the Easter Bunny was kind to you. Don't eat all those eggs in one go. Another 3 weeks left of lockdown, so space them out and see if you can eat them over 3 weeks instead of one sitting. Right, okay, so just a reminder about the email address should you need to email any questions, grade6@worksheetcloud.com. Send those through and I will answer them during the next lesson. Just remember that this is a pre-recorded lesson, so when we work through examples, please feel free to press pause, work through them by yourself, challenge yourself, and then press play to see how you got on. Okay, so today we're going to be looking again at our usual warm-up and mental questions. We'll do a little add and subtract fractions recap. And then today we're going to be looking at multiplying fractions. And then we have your brain bender and challenge to finish off with. Right, there's your warm-up activity for today. I'll just go over to the Google Jamboard while you guys are working that out. Okay, feel free to press pause and let's see if you guys, when you press play, are going to get the answers that I'm going to work out for you. Okay, so we should know that 30 plus 30 plus 30 equals 90. Okay, then 30 added to what multiplied by what is going to give me 130. So we should realize that 10 multiplied by 10 is 100. And then when we add that 30, we're going to get the 130. Okay. Then we can move down and that's 10. Okay. And we have to add 5 at the end because one shoe will be 5 if both shoes are 10. So 10 multiplied by what add 5 equals 365. So I need to make 360. So 10 multiplied by 36 is 360. And then you add the 5 to get 365. Okay. And then the last line when we need to work out the pink triangle would be 36. Add 30. Multiply by 10. Okay, 30 multiplied by 10 is 300. Add the 36 and you get 336. Hope you guys did well in that. And well done if you struggled through it and had to repeat and go back and then got to the right answer in the end. Okay, your mental questions for today. And your mental questions are based on principles that we've covered in the last few lessons. So if I go back to my Jamboard, and remember guys, press pause here so that you can work through the mental questions by yourself. And let's see how you guys remember the previous principles that we've gone through. So remember to simplify fractions, we look for the highest common factor that goes into both the numerator and the denominator. So we've got 24 over 16. So the highest common factor of 24 and 16 is going to be 8. So 8 is going to go into 24 3 times. And 8 is going to go into 16 twice. And that, as you should recognize, is an improper fraction. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. And had the question said convert it to a mixed number, we would have had 1 and 1 over 2, which is 1.5. Okay. Your next question is convert to a mixed numeral and then simplify. So remember that 18 over 8 means 18 divided by 8. Okay. So that's going to leave me with 2 remainder 2. Okay. So that's going to be 2 and 2 over 8. Now the question says to simplify as well. So that's going to be 2. What number goes into both 2 and 8 is 2 itself. 2 goes into 2 once and into 8 4 times. Okay, so 2 1/4 is equivalent to 2 and 2 over 8, which is also equivalent to 18 over 8. Okay, your next question is use multiplying or multiply using the compensation method. Okay, so remember the compensation method is we're either going to give something back or we're going to take something away. So 63 multiplied by 9, I'm going to say 60 multiplied by 9 because there's my friendly number, and we know numbers ending in 0 are easier to work with. So remember, I can just say 6 multiplied by 9 equals 54. But I must remember this multiple of 10, and I must remember the multiple of 10 in the answer. So I've made my sum 60 multiplied by 9, but I still need to add those additional 3 groups of 9. Okay, and those 3 groups of 9 are going to equal 27. And if I add those, I then get 567. I suppose you could also call that the split method, where you've split the 63 up into 60 and 3. But either way, you're either going to split it or you're going to use that compensation method to get your answer. Okay, next question was, can 156 be divided by 6? And I don't have to write anything down here because the divisibility rule for 6 is the number even, and can it be divided by 3? So 156 is even, and the rule to figure out if it can be divided by 3 is I need to add 1 plus 5 plus 6, and that gives me 12. And I know that 12 can be divided by 3, so therefore 156 can be divided by 3. So therefore 156 is divisible by 6 because it's even, and it can be divided by 3. Okay? And your last question, 3/4 plus 1/3. Okay, remember when I add fractions, and this is going to lead into the recap of adding and subtracting fractions that I mentioned in the schedule. I need to look for a lowest common denominator. My denominators need to be the same when I add my fractions. Okay, so my lowest common denominator here is going to be 12. Okay, 4 goes into 12 3 times, so I must multiply the numerator by 3 and I get 9. 3 from 1/3 goes into 12 4 times, so I must multiply the numerator by 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, and that leaves me with 13 over 12. Okay, had they asked you to convert that into a mixed numeral, your answer would have been 1 and 1/12, but there's no problem with leaving it as an improper fraction. Okay. So just to recap on adding and subtracting fractions. So you can add and subtract fractions when the denominators are the same. If the denominators are not the same, you need to look for lowest common denominator. And then whatever you do to the denominator to make it into that lowest common denominator, you need to do to the numerator, as I showed you in the mental mathematics question 5. Okay. Today we're going to have a look at multiplying fractions, okay? And first we're going to look at multiplying fractions by whole numbers, okay? So you can see in the text box here at the top, we can use repeated addition to multiply fractions by whole numbers. So 3 multiplied by 2 over 8 is the same as 2 over 8 plus 2 over 8 plus 2 over 8. And we know when we add fractions, the denominators must be the same, which they are with the 2 over 8. And then we can just add the numerators and keep the same denominator. Okay? So your answer there is going to be 6 over 8. So I'm going to work through a couple of examples with you and then give you your own opportunity to practice some. I hope you guys can see those sums on your screen. So for A, they've asked for 3 times 3 over 12, which is the same as 3 over 12 plus 3 over 12 plus 3 over 12. And that's going to give you 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. And you know that your denominator is 12. Okay, so 3 times 2 over 7 is the same as 2 over 7 plus 2 over 7 plus 2 over 7. Okay, all the denominators are the same, so that's going to give me 6 over 7. Okay, for C, we've got 5 times 1 over 8. So we're going to have 1 over 8 add 1 over 8 add 1 over 8. And I'm just going to go into the next box for now. Add 1 over 8 and add 1 over 8. All the denominators are the same. Okay, so there are 5 numerators with a value of 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. And we keep the same denominator. Okay, for the next one, I'm just going to erase these 2 fractions of an eighth. And I've got 3 times 2 over 9. So that's 2 over 9. Add 2 over 9. Add 2 over 9. Denominators are the same. So I just add the numerators. That gives me 6 over 9, which when simplified by 3 gives me 2 over 3. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to practice your own. 6 times a half, 5 times 2 fifths, 8 times 2 over 4, sorry, which is the same as a half, and 15 times 3 over 5. Please remember to press pause before I give you the answers and see if you can work them out yourselves. Okay, so here go the answers. So now would be an appropriate time to press pause. For A, I don't think we actually need to work anything out. Okay, so 6 times a half, we can work it out and write out a half 6 times. Okay, that's going to give you 6 over 2, and that is equal to 3. Okay, with 5 times 2 over 5, again, you need to write out 2 fifths 5 times. Okay, once you've done that, you should have 10 over 5, and that is equal to 2. Okay, remember your fraction means your numerator divided by your denominator. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 5 is 2. For 8 times 2 over 4, that's going to give you an answer of 16 over 4. And that answer is 4. All right, 16 divided by 4 is 4. And your last one, 15 times 3 over 5. Now it's going to take you a long time to write 3 over 5 15 times. So here, if you've realized that you can just multiply the 15 by the numerator to give you 45 and put it over the same denominator, which equals 9, then you have identified exactly what I was hoping you would identify. So guys, remember you can press stop, rewind, make sure you have absolute clarity on the work that we're doing. If not, then feel free to email me on the email address you find at the bottom of the page right now, grade6@worksheetcloud.com. Okay, but there's another way to multiply fractions, okay? And that is indeed looking at the way I hinted at for 15 times 3 over 5 on the previous slide. Okay, so Let's have a look at this on the Google Jamboard. Okay, there it is there. So 4 times 3/4. I'm going to do the first one for you, and then I'd like you to work through the rest by yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 4 by the 3, the other numerator. Okay, notice I keep the same denominator. 4 times 3 at the top of the fraction is going to equal 12. And we keep the same denominator. And you are quite right if you've identified that 12 over 4 is the same as 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Okay, press pause here, work through B to F, and see if you can come up with the answers that I'm going to come up with. Okay, so we'll have 4 multiplied by 2, and that is equal to 8 over 3. We will have 5 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 10 over 4. And you could simplify that if you wanted to, to 5 over 2. For D, we're going to have 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9 over 6. Okay, and again, I can simplify that to 3 over 2, because 3 goes into both 9 and 6. For E, I'm going to have 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8 over 5. Okay, that cannot be simplified any further. And then the last one, I'm going to have 5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 10 over the same denominator, 3. And yes, it's an improper fraction. So you can convert it to a mixed numeral if asked. That mixed numeral would be 3 and 1/3. Okay, I hope you guys did well there. Remember to rewind just to make sure you fully understand. Okay, so our brain bender for today is as follows, and I encourage you guys to press pause again and to try and work it out by yourself and challenge someone in the household to do it with you. Let me know by email if you guys have come up with any original or any kind of challenge which you guys are doing at home. I'm quite interested to find out. Okay, but press pause now before I start going through the answer. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write in the numbers that we've got: 12, 30, 36, 20, 15, okay, they've given us quite a lot today. All right, let me just get that up, sorry. Okay, so there you've got it there. So straight away I should be looking at the 4 and the 2, and that's going to give me 8 there. The diamond must be worth 6, because I know that this 6 times this 2 is equal to this 12. Okay. I'm also going to be looking at this 6. What am I going to multiply by this 6 over here to get to this 30? So 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, 4 multiplied by the same 5 is going to give me this 20. So we're all good there. 6, again, the 6 on the bottom left corner, multiplied by what is going to give you that 36. So the diamond again is 6. So that's just confirming what we found out earlier. The 4 on the left hand side multiplied by this 6 is going to give me 24. Okay, so the Pac-Man, which is quite an old game that maybe your folks will remember, is 24. Okay, we know the diamond is 6 already, so the only missing digit that's left must be 3, because 3 times 2 is 6. And if we check 3 times 5 is 15 and 3 times 6 is 18, then we know we are correct. So well done if you got those correct, and if you're getting used to them. They are going to start getting a little bit trickier over the next couple of days and weeks. Okay, guys, so all that's left for me to show you today is your 24 challenge. So remember here, you need to use all 4 numbers. So there are 3 tiles there. So on the first tile, you need to use 8, 8, 4, and 4, and you need to come up with the answer of 24. So you can use whatever operational signs you want. You don't have to use all of them. You can use all addition, or you can multiply and then subtract. There are quite a few different ways to work out the answers, but again, I would encourage you to maybe challenge someone else in the house to come up with the answer of 24. And yeah, let me know how you get along, and enjoy that challenge after this. Right, guys, so all that's left for me to say is that on this website, WorksheetCloud.com, you've got your activities that I've set for you today, just an extra bit of practice on multiplication of fractions. Please feel free to use the email address grade6@worksheetcloud.com should you have any queries or related queries to other lessons that we've done. Have a great day. Don't eat too many Easter eggs and chocolate, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Cheers, guys. All the best.